Hey everybody, DBS TCG Central, bringing you another deck profile. Appreciate you joining me, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite decks. It's a yellow-green build for this bad Larry right here. So Broly the Awakened Threat, he's an old school leader. He was a promo back in the day. He actually has an errata on him I'll speak about in a moment. But he is the first super strong yellow leader we got that was super meta. And he ran it for a long time. Still wicked strong in terms of leader cards today, just because of the draw power. But let me show you what he does. So on his unawakened side, when this card attacks, you may draw one card. Choose one card from your life and add it to your hand. And if you do, you can draw a card. So you self awaken, and every time you swing, you're drawing two cards. So it gets you what you need in your hand pretty quickly. And when your life is at 4 or less, you may choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them to active mode, and then flip this card over. Also, really huge. Untapping 2 energy extends your plays in like tremendous ways. If you want to be defensive after you dump your 2 energy for whatever you need, you can awaken and then you have 2 more energy to defend with, or you can go a little more aggressive. So it's really strong. And then when he awakens, Broly the Awakened Threat. When this card attacks, now it'll draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode. That's a once per turn active main. Excellent, especially some of the cards we have in this deck. Once you use that effect, it'll prompt you to use other abilities that on cards that you have in this deck. I'll show you in a moment. Also, he has got another active main once per turn. Choose one card from your life and add it to your hand, and then choose up to one of your cards in rest mode and switch it to active mode. Super powerful ability. This is the part of the card that got errated. So the new text is basically instead of choosing any card, you can only choose a card that has the Broly BR title to it. Like this leader card has a Broly BR tag right here. So you'll be able to switch this to active mode to swing again and draw a card. Also, there's other Brolys that we play that came out in an expansion set that support this deck directly that have effects when you untap them that really help you out. So let's bring on the cards. We'll start with the super combos. We do run Arrivals, so we do multicolor super combos, and this is one of the cards that came out in the new expansion. Skill Steel Chile or Chili. This is a super strong super combo. The old green yellow multicolor super combo. It was okay, but it was more directed for like Android use. You could also put a card in your drop area if you needed to, but this thing I prefer over that just because of how the deck runs. So it's a super combo. It has energy exhaust, which means when you try to put it in your energy, it'll come in tapped because there's 2 colors. If your leader card is green, yellow, or a heroine card, when this card is used in a combo from your hand, choose one. You could choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode, which is super powerful. I use it all the time. It's great defensively, stops some attacks. Your unison can be their unisons can be a threat too sometimes. So being able to tap it, great. The second one is you may choose if it's your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it. Now you'll see that there's ways, especially when we arrival, to make things skillless. So this in this deck, this super combo is just really good, like broken status. So I'll show you some of the cards that make things skillless and some of the Brolys we can untap. Oh, also, because we are running Arrival, I'm a consistency guy, so I also run these for arrivaling. So with this card, you can arrival it for 1 yellow if you need a 15k beater. But also, we use it for this permanent here. If you have 3 or more Android cards in your drop area, oh, I'm sorry, not that ability. You don't run any more androids than this. But if you did, this would ignore energy exhaust, so you could put it into your energy untapped. But the permanent that we are using it for is if your leader card is yellow or an android card, you can reduce the combo cost in this card in your hand by 1. So it becomes a 0 cost 5k combo, which is green yellow, which helps with Arrival. It's basically like a super combo for 5k and you don't draw a card, but it's free and it's a green yellow, so it'll help you Arrival some things. And the first Arrival that we play is for SS Broly, Reckless Pursuit. So this is another one that came out in the expansion pack that support the deck. It's got Swap 8. So I don't know if you guys know what Swap 8 was. It's an older mechanic. It was used in a Goku lineage deck. So it was a Goku swap deck. You could swap into different size dudes, and you return whatever you swap. You basically, the card on the battlefield, you could swap this card for an 8-drop. And it has to be a Broly BR for this swap. So it has to be a green yellow. So it has to be a multicolor 8-drop Broly, basically. But it arrivals for 1 green or 1 yellow. So you could use a green or a yellow to arrival it. And when this card is played or when it's switched to active mode, remember, once per turn, your leader can untap a Broly BR. So this effect takes play when he becomes untapped too. When this card is played or when it's switched to active mode by a skill during your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less and negate its skills for the turn. Now that's huge. So you'll play this in a combo, and then you'll arrival this, and anything 4 or less will lose its skills, and then you can use this ability to pop it, to basically KO it if it's a skillless battle card. Huge. So it's got so many different uses and ways to make things skillless. It's super strong. For 1 energy too. And then you got a 19k beater, but it's also a blocker. So if you want to be defensive, you can also. Also, it's got a once per turn. Switch this card to rest mode. Choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it. So if you wanted to use the Chile, if you wanted to use that to rest something instead, and then you could tap this card here to KO the skillless card that you just made skillless. Super strong. We run 4 of those. So that's our arrival package over there. And that's our Broly's. So like I said, it has swap 8. And this is the card that you're going to swap into. Another one of the expansion cards that are sporting this deck. Full power Broly Impulsive Destroyer. This guy is crazy good too. He's a 35k. You could arrival him for 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 colorless, so 3 energy. He's got double strike, blocker, energy exhaust. Obviously, anything that's dual color will have it. When this card is played, you draw a card, and when this card is played or when it's switched to active mode by one of your skills during your turn. So, like I said, your leader can untap him. Where is it? Okay, so when you play this card, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and negate its skills. So this one does battle cards of any size, and also it does unisons. And negating a unison skill is huge. That's so powerful. Depending on what the unison is or what it does, it might be helping the whole deck play. So like being able to negate the skills for a turn is huge. And then you can choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards, and you can KO it. So another way to KO it once per turn, but this one you don't have to tap to do it. You can just do it once per turn. So pretty good. Going for game with him is good sometimes too. A little tech that I like to play. Villainous Counterstrike. So this is an active battle. This is so good. So the Brolys that you play, they make your opponent's battle cards skillless. So once you have a skillless on the battlefield on their side, this effect comes into place. So active battle, so on your combo step-ish, your opponent has, if your opponent has a skillless battle card in play, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less, for which the total cost adds up to 4 or less, and send them to their owner's warp. So when you play this card, if there's 2 2-drops, or maybe 4 1-drops, or a 4-drop, or a 3 and a 1-drop, you can do a little board wipe to get rid of some pesky stuff that is enfeebling your deck in the way you want to play it. So it's a little tech I run, but it's really strong with these cards here. So I'll throw that over there. Another Broly that we play is an older Broly from another expansion pack, actually. But it's older than these newer expansion cards here. But this is a SS Broly All Out Assault. If you guys used to play a while back, this was a super, super strong card. Everybody played it. It's an arrival for a yellow and a green. It's got energy exhaust. And then auto when you play this card or when it's switched to active mode by his skill during your turn. So same with your leader. And there's also some other cards that'll untap this thing on your turn. I'll show you in a moment. You can choose one of these things once you play it. So choose one battle card with energy cost greater or equal to your opponent's current energy and KO it. So anything big, some kind of beefcake they might have played, you could pop it right off the board. Active battle. So even if they're swinging with something that's a giant monster beast, if it doesn't have barrier, you can play this for 2 energy. And even if they combo their whole hand to go for game, you can play this and then boom, it's KO'd no matter what they do. So they wasted whatever double strikes or combos they put on it. It's such a strong combo, active battle. So other than that, you could choose that, or you could choose this other option, which is draw 1 card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to rest mode. Strong if you need it to happen. So it just depends on what you're doing and what you want to have happen. You can play it on your turn, tap something that you need to get rid of, and then swing with this and kill it. Just you have a lot of options with this. So when this is out, I like to. So this is another tech I run that I think is super strong and really great for the deck. So this is a 6-drop. This is just one way to get up to 6, and then we play a successor card. It's a little tech I run. It's Cell Devourer of the Masses. This card is crazy. If you could fit it and you're playing green-yellow, it is really, really strong. Let me explain what it does first. You can successor for 1 green, 1 yellow, and you're always going to have that green because turn 1 you're always going to charge a multicolor, and then turn 2 you charge yellows, or we run Anulazas. Let me tell you real quick. So these are basically like check lands. If you have a multicolor energy, green, yellow energy in your energy, when you play this in your energy, it negates the energy exhaust. So it'll come in tapped. You won't have to worry about it coming in tapped and wasting a turn or an energy drop. You could also play it for 2, which helps you get to where you need to be sometimes when you want to play the cell I'm about to show you. But this also has another thing. If you play it, active battle once per turn, you can choose a green, yellow multicolor card in your hand, and you can place it in the drop area and choose one of your opponent's cards in their combo area, and you can put it in their drop area. So if they're trying to combo out of something, you could kill it if you drop one of the cards in your hand that are green, yellow. But back to this guy. So it says it's 1 green, 1 yellow. Like I said, with these cards here, always charging a multicolor turn 1. You won't have to worry about having the green. So you successor, which means you KO a card or cards that equal 6 exactly. So if you see this one is 6. So say you play him on your turn, you attack with him, you do his ability, maybe you untap him, attack again. You can KO it, and then once you KO it, you can play this guy. And when this guy's played, he is so broken. When you play this card with the successor, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, KO it. So any one of their cards, no size, energy restriction, or anything like that. Ignoring barrier and KO it. And then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, they put it in their drop area. So they discard a card, you KO something with barrier, and then you got a 25k beat stick on the board that you can swing with. And it did its thing already. But the kicker on this card is its second auto is when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you may draw 3 cards. So you'll be swinging with this thing. They'll want to get rid of it. And as soon as it's gone by their skills or KO'd, you automatically just draw 3 cards. So the value is huge. And it's barrier removal for this deck, which is something you don't see a lot in yellow. But the yellow-green can handle it. Like I said, you're going to have a green in your energy, maybe 2. This card here really helps the deck. So your leader can untap your Brolys, but also this card does a really good job doing the same. Active battle, or you can do it active main. It's a limit 1, so you can only do it once per turn, one of your turns. Actually, you could do it on your opponent's turn and on your turn. If your opponent card is a green Chile BR or a yellow Broly BR, which ours is, choose one. Choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And if you KO'd a card, then you can draw 1. I use it for the second one always. If you need to use that, you can. It's really helpful. But the second one is choose up to 1 yellow Broly BR card in your battle area and switch it to active mode. Now that counts as your leader, but it also counts as this Broly for this Broly for the 8-drop Broly. So it's just another way to untap. So you could do it with your leader 1 turn, and you could do it with this 1 turn, and then you're getting 2 huge attacks or 2 blocks or 2 attacks and a block. whatever you need, however you need to do it, depending on what's happening and whatever your strategy is. So then we run a extra card secret rare. It got limited in the ban list. You can only run one per deck. This is just a really good card. It'll put a extra card in your drop area for another card that I'll show you in a moment that we need extra cards in our drop for. But for 1 energy, it's a counter attack, plain and simple. And if you have 1 or more yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's active battle skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. So if you're going to play an energy that's yellow eventually too. If you just have 1 open that's mono yellow, you're going to have a bunch because you're going to arrival on your turn, so you'll keep all your energy open. You'll be able to just play this card for free and do its active battle, which is if your leader card is mono yellow, draw 1 card, then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode. And then you can't do this active battle for the rest of the turn. So just a quick, your unison's a threat. I'm going to rest it for free. Or what else is there? And you draw a card, which is just nuts. You can do their unison or you can do one of their battle cards. So it's super strong. It's defensive, but also if you need to kill something and you need to get something in rest mode to proc something, it's really good. Like I said, we run a few extra cards for a certain card, and I'll show you in a moment. But 3 Flying Nimbus. Flying Nimbus is really, really good. Sometimes you might get a little clogged. Hardly, but sometimes you do because some of these might be in your hand. You might have an excess. So discarding a card to negate is not a big deal. But if you don't know what this does, it's a 1-drop counterplay, and you negate the attack, and then you may choose 1 yellow card in your hand. It could be yellow-green, doesn't say mono-yellow, so you could just drop a yellow and green card in your hand, and you put it in your drop area. And if you do, your opponent can only attack 1 more time with battle cards for the turn. So if they're being pesky and swarmy with a bunch of battle cards, you can discard 1 of your cards as you play this, and they won't be able to attack it with any more battle cards if they have a bunch on the battlefield. So it'll save you a lot of pain and agony and cards in your hand. Also, another card that we play, we play 3 Frieza Army Reinforcements, which fits the deck pretty well if you've seen the movie. So this is like all of Frieza's army deck, and Broly got like recruited by Frieza. But with this card, it's a counterattack, and if your leader card is mono yellow, negate the attack and play 1 Frieza Army token with 10,000 power, and it gains blocker for the turn. So basically, if you're at 5 or less life, you could take 1 of your life, you could negate the attack, and then once the attack's negated, this card plays a token blocker. So if they swing again, you can block with that. So this basically just handles 2 attacks if it's played correctly, and it could be for free if you don't want to spend the 2 energy. So like I said, there's a pretty decent sized extra card package. We want to see some in the drop area and do some stuff so that we could play this card here. This is all our defense for the most part, but Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte. So this is basically your topo for the deck. It's a floodgate. It's a counter attack. Negate the attack, then play this card. So it becomes a 15k attacker also. It does have an active main that doesn't come into play because I don't play any 4-drops Mecha Friezas in here, but if you wanted to, you could pay 2, and then you could choose a Mecha Frieza with 4 or less, and then you could play it on top of this. You could evolve it to be a little more aggressive, but I don't need it. I got the Brolys, and deck's kind of tight. I could squeeze 1 or 2 in if I wanted to, but it doesn't come up that often. You need the energy for other things. So if your leader card is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your drop area. So all these extra cards, once they're in the drop and they're used, you play this for pretty much 1. It gets 2 sometimes, but most of the time you'll have it at 1. And then it just kind of stops them because every time they attack, they have to tap a card. And that's any card. It could be an energy. It could be another battle card. It could be their leader card. As long as they try to attack with something, they have to tap something. And after 1 or 2 attacks, they're going to run out of steam because they're tapping the other stuff that they want to either attack with or play more stuff with their energy. So it kind of puts them at a standoff with you, and then you just have to let them tap everything, which will help you out in the long run, really. 3 of those, really good. one of my favorites. You could run it at 4, but with all the other cards, it's pretty defensive anyway, so you don't need it as much because you got the blocker Brolys that are huge and stuff like that, but it's really good. 3 is a good number. Vegeta Prideful Transformation. We do run unisons. I'll get to them right after this card. So if you have a unison with 2 or more counters on it, this becomes free and it's counterplay. So if they play something without deflect, you could play this card and then you can rest one of their cards, and it is a 14k attacker, but it's also a blocker, so it gives you even more defense, and it taps something for free if you have a unison out with 2 or more counters. So really strong. It's a good counterplay for yellow. If you play unisons, yellow kind of strays away from the unisons, so you don't really get to play it that often. Speaking of unisons, so the unison for this deck is the Chili and Limo allied assistance. I went through a bunch of different ones. I think that this one works the best with the deck, and it's a 1-drop, so a lot of stuff becomes live, and you can do a lot of stuff with this one. So auto, once per turn, when you play a battle card using a rival, green, yellow, which you will with all those cards I showed you, you will draw you will put a marker on this card. So that's how it accrues more markers. And then active main, so it's +1. You can look at the top 5 of the top of your deck, and you can choose 1 green, yellow, multicolor Frieza Army card from among them, and then you can add 1 to your hand, and if you do, you have to discard 1 card from your hand. So all those Brolys are all Frieza Army, and also your super combos are too. So you'll be able to get your super combos, you'll be able to get your Brolys in hand to do whatever you need to do. So also, an active battle, it's got a +0. If another card in a battle, is in a battle, use up to 1 green, yellow, multicolor card from your drop area in a combo, and then negate this skill for the turn. So you get a free, while this guy's out, you get a free once per turn green, yellow combo. So you can combo anything that might be in your drop. This for free. So it won't cost you 1 energy, and then it'll be a green, yellow 10k free buff for whatever you're going to put it on. But also, when you combo with one of those, you can arrival with it. So it's a free, green, yellow combo that you can arrival with. So it's really strong, and it gives you a lot of options to arrival a lot of stuff. Super strong. That's why it's such a good one for this deck. And you're getting counters on it from every time you do arrival. Then I run 2 of Vegeta Unison of Fury. This thing is just really strong. It's a boss monster as well, and it's very defensive, so it's flexible. Once per turn, you could choose this card or one of your battle cards and switch to rest mode to add a counter to this. So you could tap this and add a counter. You could tap a battle card to add a counter. And as you know, you can untap your battle cards too. So if you do have to tap one, you can figure out a way to untap it again for whatever you need to do. And then also the -1 is huge in early game. When your opponent, so if you do the -1 as an active main, your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy greater than their current energy until the end of their next turn. So you do that, and anything that they play that's bigger than their energy just can't attack. And if you know this game, everybody cheats out a bunch of stuff that's way bigger than their energy all the time. So that is super strong if you want to be defensive. And then if you get this late game, it's a game ender. You could play it for 4 and then -3 it, and you get this effect. So on turn 4 or 5, you could play this thing and you would be able to do this. So active main, you could choose up to 1 of your opponent's energy, and you can switch it to rest mode. Then this card gains 5,000 power, double strike, and dual attack. So it becomes a 20k double strike, dual attack. If they have an energy open to defend, you can just tap it so they can't use it, and then they might not be able to handle it. So it's really, really good. And in certain situations, it's unbelievable. So 2 of those. All right. Then one-ofs, we have Swift Retaliation Cooler. It's a counter. If you're trying to go for game and they try to attack, you can play this, and you can counter their counter. So it stops their counter. And if your leader is yellow, you may do this, obviously. Auto, when you play this card, draw 1 card, and then if your opponent has 6 or more cards in rest mode, draw 1 card as well. Super good. Poutine, your leader automatically once per turn rests something. So if you can do that, you might as well play Poutine. So when you play this card, once you put something in rest mode, this card gets played for free. And once it's in play, anything that comes into the battlefield gets tapped that gets played the first thing. So it's really strong and it's really hurts your opponent really, really bad. It's a good tech choice I run. Also, the last card in the deck, Supreme Kai of Time, Space Time Unraveler. Your energy is kind of loose. Kind of tight. So playing this for 1 is really good, and then it's pretty much stops your leader and your opponent's unison from attacking, and then you could board wipe with it for 1 on your turn. So it's really good. It's the one of choice for this, definitely. All right. Well, that's the deck. This leader is really fun, and this deck and the way it's built is awesome. It's consistent. You could tweak it a little bit and do it the way you like it, but I brought it to locals and I had a real good time with it. But this video is running a little late, and I'm DBSTCG Central. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook by the same name. I also have an eBay store. I'll put the link below. Like, comment, and share, and I appreciate you guys joining me again, and I'm going to keep going with these videos. Appreciate it. Bye.